Timothee Chalamet became a household name in recent years, taking a path that normal Hollywood stars such as Zendaya, Chris Evans, and even Jenna Ortega did not take, that in a sense broke the Hollywood system that was in place. He kind of became a Hollywood revolutionary in a sense. Let me explain. If we were to take a hypothetical chart of stardom and put Timothy next to a couple of other household names like Zendaya and Chris Evans, the chart for them starts off flat, with Timothy's being steady until eventually reaching the same levels. But why is that? As you can see in the chart of the years of his acting career, he had a very consistent line of growth, until he's reached where he is now. In comparison to the other two people depicted in the graph, you can kind of see where they kind of went viral, per se, with their fame, while Timothy kind of had like this consistent growth. Now I want you to tell me if you noticed something strange about this progression in Timothy's acting career. As a kid, Timothy started as a commercial actor actually in 2008, and I've been in a couple largely unknown short films. Before making his television debut on Law & Order, he continued to get roles gradually in other shows such as Loving Leah, Royal Pains, and Homeland, where he just slowly increased the profile of his brand name. He even dabbled in the theater a little bit, with his earliest production being an off-Broadway play called The Talls. However, it wasn't until 2014 that he made his feature film debut in a movie called Men, Women, and Children, and he eventually went on to get a role in Interstellar, of all movies. Like, that's a pretty big jump from the things he was doing before. Honestly, I could go on and on about all the different productions he was on because there's quite a few. All of them mostly are relatively unknown, however. Why did it take so long for him to become the household name that he is today? He had the launch pad. He was in Interstellar. That movie made $700 million. And even though I don't recognize a lot of the other productions that he was in, it seems like there were a lot of launch pads that he could have just taken to go to a big debut film. It seemed after he had gotten Interstellar, he was on track to just keep going up exponentially, as a lot of people do when they go viral, but he kind of intentionally flattened his lines to a little bit more of a slow growth, and he didn't take his jump to stardom. Now, why would someone intentionally do that? Wouldn't you want, if you had the chance to become viral, and you had the chance to get a big production and a big film, wouldn't you just take that opportunity? Wouldn't you take that jump? If you look at Timothy's early film career, there's a pivotal part that really defines his career, and that is when he worked on the film Call Me By Your Name. This could have been the springboard to a huge blockbuster, as Call Me By Your Name received international attention. But what he did instead was really quite fascinating. Instead of jumping to a big role and going viral per se, he continued to slowly increase the level of his productions he was in with bigger named actors. But why didn't he just jump at the chance to be in a blockbuster immediately? Ironically, too much success too fast can actually be detrimental to one's acting career. Let me explain. Let's take two very famous actors, Daniel Radcliffe and Chris Evans. To the common people, these people are known as Harry Potter and Captain America respectively. But that's it. After Daniel finished Harry Potter, he struggled to book roles because people could not take him out of the, "Oh, he's Harry Potter," a sort of lens that they have put him in, until he did a complete rebrand of his entire image by hiring an acting manager and just going completely out there. But he had to do that because he was stuck in this typecast of Harry Potter. Honestly, for Chris Evans, I didn't even know he was a part of any other movie besides Captain America. Yeah, I guess I knew that he was in Fantastic Four in passing. Like, if I look back on that, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess he was there. But besides that, couldn't tell you. It's because the average viewer's mind equates Chris Evans with Captain America these days. But I'm willing to bet that when someone says Timothee Chalamet, you don't really automatically associate it with Paul Atreides. That is the magic of the path that he's created. He has allowed himself to become a global superstar without trapping himself in the role that he's achieved. Because of the consistent growth path that he has taken that allows him to move from film to film without much question, without people being like, oh my gosh, I didn't know Harry Potter was in this film, if Daniel Radcliffe was in another film. You just don't really get that with Timothy. Now, another household name that has just pierced through the scene at unbelievable speeds is Zendaya. And the level of fame that she was able to get so early in her life is truly fascinating. And you can check out that video right here, once it's finished being edited, of course. In the meanwhile, be sure to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next one.